Welcome, Jay, again to the Metallidium pages because we have an interview 2 years ago for the last album. Now a new interview with this new album, The Tide of the Dead and Fractured Dreams. So obviously we are talking about the band, this new album, and more things relating to the metal world in general. So we started by asking, how was the band during the last years? 2 years.
Great, thanks. Well, first off, thanks for having me back. It's a pleasure to be here and do another interview with you. But as for the past couple of years, it's been crazy. Like they've been our busiest years ever. I mean, we're nearly 20 years in now. Like we're like over 18 years old as a band, and a lot of bands they start to slow down when they've been around for so long, but we seem to be like ramping everything up. It's been a crazy 2 years since the since the pandemic, basically, since all that lockdown shit. We've we've been firing on all cylinders. We've been on tour constantly, like throughout the years since then. We've been releasing albums, doing music videos, just working, because this is the thing. Like this is all we've ever wanted to do. All we've ever wanted to do since we were kids is be in a metal band and go around the world kicking everybody's ass. That's like and now nearly 20 years down the line, we finally got to a point where this is our career, this is our job. We don't have to do anything on the side to pay our bills at home and stuff. So now we're at the point where we're doing what we always set out to achieve. So it's just been crazy. It's just been mad. Like we just don't seem to have an off switch. We just love doing the work. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it doesn't feel like work. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're in a great place at the moment. Busy, busy, busy all the time.
Well, nice to know that. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting that you told me. So now this, the tide of Dead and Fractured Dreams is your eighth album in your career. In well, at least well, in 2 years will be 20 years of existence of the band. So
Yeah.
for this in this case, what represents to you this new The Tide of the Dead and Fractured Dreams? Perhaps something special because the A album very closer to the 20 years.
Yeah. Um, I think I think with this new album, well, I'll start with the last album, Ashes Lie Still, which was our Metal Blade debut album. That came out during a period of like, how can I say this? Severe turbulence for the band. In our personal lives and stuff, we were dealing with quite a lot of demons, like personal demons, if that's how you'd say it. Like we all three of us were dealing with various addictions, whether it's drugs, alcohol, whatever. Um, Sean, our guitarist, he was dealing with the passing of his dad, which was obviously very heavy as well. So that was when that album came out. That album, Ashes I Still, was born of a very dark period for all of us, which is, I think, why that album sounds and is the way that that album is. Whereas this one, with the Tide of Death and Fractured Dreams, we've come out the other end of that dark period, like mentally stronger, physically stronger, and just an all-round better band than we were before that. Like so now we're coming out swinging. This is ingested, pure ingested, the real ingested, where it's three guys who don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. We're just coming to smash your fucking faces in with this album. So yeah, I'm super excited to for the album to finally be announced because we've been sitting on this album for like well over a year because we released Ashes Lie Still in November 2022, and then 4 weeks later in December 2022, we went into the studio and recorded this.
Oh, okay.
So we've been sitting on this album just waiting. Like we've just been getting. So we recorded this album like 4 weeks after the last album was released, and then basically we've spent this entire year getting everything prepared and ready to release this album. Like the music videos, the merchandise, the artwork, all the packages, like everything about it. We've had a whole year to really sit down and spend proper time on it, like in between tours. Well, even while we're on tour, we've been working on it. So yeah, it's fine. It feels amazing to finally drop that first music video, announce that the album exists and that it's coming out April 4th, Metal Blade Records, and announce our headline European and UK tour. So it's an exciting time. I'm super stoked. It's the album's crushing. Like it's a crushing modern death metal masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And I know I'm probably sucking my own dick there, but do you know what I mean? If your own band isn't your favorite band, then you're doing something wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, correct, correct. So this since your previous album, Ashes Light Steel, you decide completely to change the focus of the cover arts because previously you are one like the mostly deathcore bands or brutal death metal bands that is talking visceral bodies, these dissections, etc., etc. But with this new album and the previous one, you decide to do more abstract thing. So
Yeah.
in this process to create the cover arts, this is something natural, or perhaps you think about it this to create these both cover arts from the previous one or in this new last.
Well, the way that the artwork came around, it's the same artist who did the cover for Ashes Lie Still. It's David Seidman. And what David Seidman is predominantly known for is he makes commission art pieces for like bespoke um 80s and horror movie posters. So people will commission him and say like, "Oh, I'd like a movie poster of this movie," and then he will like paint these posters by hand. So they're made to order, the custom orders. And our guitarist Sean is a huge horror movie and 80s like movie memorabilia collector. He loves all that shit. Like if you go into his house, it's like a, it's like a fucking museum. Like it's just movie posters all over the walls. He's got like fucking like movie props everywhere. He's got like all the little puzzle boxes out of Hellraiser and shit. Like he's got bloody Terminator like heads and everything. Like it's crazy. So Sean actually like commissioned some of these posters and he has them all over his house. And he was showing me and Lynn one day. We were out. I can't remember what tour we were on. We might have been in America or Europe. And he was like, "Oh, look at this poster that I'm getting." And we looked at it and we were like, "Fucking hell, that artwork's amazing! Like, who is this guy?" So Sean was like, "Oh, it's this artist called David Seidman," and we were like, "Do you reckon he'd do? Do you reckon he might like do like an album artwork or anything? Do you reckon we could like contact him somewhere?" So Sean was like, "Yeah, I'll contact him absolutely." So Sean got in contact with him and asked him, and he was well up for it. So obviously we figured out all the details, and then what we did was this is the same process for this album as well because we used it's the same artist. We took a different approach with the Tide of Death and Fractured Dreams and Ashes Lie Still because for our previous album covers we always had were, oh, this is what we want this idea, this concept. Like we were always very hands on with it. But for these albums, we took the approach that if we're commissioning an artist because we like the vision of the work that we've seen him do, we should take a step back from the concept and just give him the album, give him the music, give him the lyrics, and let him loose, let him completely loose, and just trust him that he knows what he's going to do. Because we wanted to work with him because of the vision that he has on his own artwork. So for us to then try and get hands on with that is counterproductive, we thought. So that is literally what we did with this album and the last album. We just gave him the entire album. Here's all the music. Here's the finished album. Here's the lyrics, and you just go. You just give us your vision, your interpretation of what this album should look like, and he's smashed it out of the park. Like Ashes Lie Still was a really cool album cover. Really cool album cover. It's just so weird. But what he's done for the Tired of Death and Fractured Dreams is phenomenal. Like it's such an odd, but like hauntingly like beautiful but brutal image. It's just so cool. And like we've never we've never really worked with an artist like him before, which is so sick. And I think the album cover for The Tide of Death and Fractured Dreams perfectly encapsulates what this album is. I think it just suits it down to the ground. It's a perfect album cover for it. And it's a stark image as well. There's not many album covers that you see that look like this. So it's really cool. But that's how that album cover came about.
Okay, okay. Interesting details to know about this cover art. You got that? Yeah, you are right. For this cover art is very insane. Yeah, different, very good one. So now you told me that you are living the dream, as many gigs, many
Mm-hmm.
tours, releasing albums. You are working in your love. That's amazing thing. So and for this, how do you see the band in the beginning compared to now? What are the best memories from this since the beginning to now?
Um, I mean, we haven't really changed, like to be honest. I mean, like the things that we're doing have changed, but I mean, like apart from growing up a bit, like we've not really changed that much. Like our goals are still the same. Like our goal has never been like we've never wanted to be the biggest or the most famous or make the most money or anything like that. That's never been like a thing for us because I think because of our background of where we've come from, we're all working class guys. Do you know what I mean? We've all come from council estates. Like we've grown up with fucking no money. So everything that you've got, you've earned it and you appreciate that you've got it. So like money and fame and all that shit has never really like interested any of us. What we've wanted, what our goal is always been the goal since we were kids, is a legacy. Like we want when this is all said and done, people to look back and go, Ingested were the best fucking death metal band of that era, bar none. Their albums were amazing. Their live shows were even better. They just fucking smashed it. And if you never saw them live, then you fucking missed out. Like that's what I want. I want a fucking legacy. Um, as for how it's how the situation of the band has changed since we started, that's quite an interesting question, really. I tend not really to like I don't really think about it too often, to be honest. But it's like when we first started, it was like we were literally teenagers and we were just doing it for fun. Like it was just for fun. We never thought that we'd get to a point where this would be our job. This would be our career. We always thought it was one of those things where it's like you're always going to be struggling. Oh God, am I going to be able to get time off work to do this show? Do you know what I mean? Like, oh God, are we going to be able to get a lift to this show? can we fit everything in the car? Like, do you know stuff like that? And then it's like you're playing at some pub in like Blackpool or something. Like, but now it's like now it's gone to like now we're on tour buses and this is our actual job and I don't have to worry about getting time off work or anything because this is the work. But it's mad. It's mad. Like from going from playing like the Stockport Student Union, which is like 15, 20 minutes away from my house in front of like 30 people. And then you play in a show in an ice hockey arena in Helsinki in front of thousands of people and sharing the stage with Lorna Shaw. It's wild. Like, it's crazy. And then touring with like Cannibal Corpse and Dying Fetus and Suffocation and Black Dahlia Murder and you're rubbing shoulders with all these people that like you've revered for so long and you've idolized them and now you're sitting in a green room talking talking shit with Corpse Grinder. It's like it's mad, man. It's fucking mad. But I tell you what, like it's nothing that we always appreciate everything that we have because everything we've got, we've earned it. We've worked hard for it. It's took us 18 years to get to this point.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like we've never been given anything. We've never had any handouts. We've never had any help. We've never been given a push or anything like that. We've had to fight tooth and nail every fucking day, like to prove people wrong. Um, and just year by year, we've just built something brick by brick, step by step. And now all over the world, we've got like a crazy loyal, rabid fan base, and it just feels great. Like it feels great. And now we're here on Metal Blade Records releasing our second Metal Blade Records album, which again is another crazy thing because it's like when we started, when we were growing up, it was like Metal Blade Records was always like the record label.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's the record label. Oh my God. Cannibal Corpse are on there. Black Dahlia Murder are on there. Do you know what I mean? Job for a Cowboy are on there. Whitechapel. It's mad. Like, and now we're there. So it just feels good. It feels nice to finally feel like people are taking notice of everything that we've done, of like
Mm.
all the hard work that we've done, like putting out all the albums, touring literally all over the world. And now it's like all that hard work's paying off and people are finally starting to take notice. Our fans always knew. Our fans always knew that we were fucking kicking everybody's ass. But now everybody else is starting to notice, which is nice.
Okay, interesting to know. Very, very interesting to know. So, with this aspect that you mentioned, that you are, well, as you mentioned, in resume line, summarize all the thing that you said is you are living the dream. You are living the dream as a
Yeah.
musician, as a metal band, living the dream. So, for this aspect, how can you define the success? The success is to selling more CDs or more albums to create more music, so or have more fans around the world. So how do you define the success in a metal band?
For us, well, for me personally, the success is, is working as hard as we work, doing all the things we do, and I'm still enjoying it. For me, that's success. Because if it was anything else, doing this for as long as we've been doing it and doing it as much as we do it with like so little time off. I mean, right now, this is the most time off we've had since like 2020 or whenever the lockdown ended. I've got like 3 months off at the moment, and that's the longest I've had off. That's the longest as a band we've not been on tour in like nearly 4 years. So working that much and doing this that much and being a hub. being away from home so much, away from being away from my wife and my kids, like my family. Um, doing that and still enjoying it at this point and still loving it and still not wanting to do anything else. Like that to me is success. But the real success for me will be when this is over. When I'm old and grey and Ingested is no more, to see what people's reactions to our legacy, that will be the true measure of success for me.
Mm,
That is my goal. Like I want to know. I want to do enough now so that when it's over, nobody ever forgets who we were. That's what I want. That will be the true measure of success for me.
mm.
That's my personal goal.
Okay, interesting to know.
But right now, right now, I'm 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 more than happy because I get to do exactly what I love as a career. I get to do the one thing that I've ever wanted to do, which is be in a metal band and play all over the world. Um, my wife and kids have a roof over their heads, the bills are paid, there's food in the belly and clothes on the back. So do you know what I mean? I'm by no means like rolling in it or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the bills are paid, so like I don't have to worry about that, and I get to do my dream job. So for now, I'm happy. But the true measure of success will be when this band is over. That's when
Mm.
I'll be able to gauge my true goal.
Okay, interesting to know. Well, talking about now the promotion of this new The Tide of the Dead and Fractured Dreams. So what kind of promotion you will prepare well, you will prepare for this new album? I saw that you will embark on tours, etc., more details. Perhaps you will do more videos for this aspect, and also perhaps you will come to Latin America on a full tour. Who knows? What kind of plans do you have for this new album?
Well, yeah, first off, we've got the tour, UK and Europe headline tour, which is us. We're taking out Fallujah, Vulvodynia, and Melancholia. So that's going to be awesome. That runs through April and May, all over the UK and Europe. Really excited about that because that's going to be the first time that we get to play a load of these new songs live. So that's going to be cool. Other than that, we dropped our first single with a music video for this album, which was Paragon of Purity, which is out now on the Ingested TV YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. There's lots of blood and guts in it. It's very, very gory. So it's one for all the gore hounds. So you should watch that shit if you want to see me get mutilated and have my tongue gripped out, which probably quite a lot of people want to see. So, but apart from that, we've got a load more music videos to come. The reason why the background I've got blurred on my video is because for the past 2 weeks, I've been in this room working on all of the props and practical effects for the next music video that we're currently in the process of shooting. So that's why I'm keeping it all under wraps. That's why everything's blurred in the background because there's just all kinds of shit all over it. So that's what I've been working on for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, we're working on plans to get over to Latin America. We're working on plans to get over to Asia, and coming back to the US as well. We've got everything in the pipeline, so it's going to be a really busy couple of years from here on out, as usual. I mean, that's no different to any other year for us, really, is it? So yeah, there's loads of stuff coming, loads of stuff, loads of singles, music videos, and tours. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm excited for all of it. Like, bring it on. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
This is why I'm in a metal band. I want to go around the world kicking everybody's fucking ass like I'm some kind of metal Stone Cold Steve Austin. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay, interesting to know. A lot of plans are coming for Ingest. So now talking about other kind of things. I remember when I spoke with a band or with a lot of musicians around the world, especially in the extreme music. And many musicians say that the deathcore, metalcore, or any kind of core band related to the metal is not extreme music. It's more like the plastic music, this kind of stuff. That's some band things like that. For that, so what's your point of view about how do you label extreme music or extreme metal band?
How would I label?
Yeah.
How would I label what? Us
uh,
or
in general, how do you label extreme metal band? Who, for you,
um
which is the main things to consider extreme metal band?
the attitude. I don't think it's a musical thing. Obviously it is a musical thing, but for me, the extremity doesn't just start and end with the actual music. You have to have the attitude. The attitude to me is like you could be playing fastest drums in the world, but if you got no fucking balls to it, then it's not extreme to me. Do you know what I mean? You just drumming fast. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? You can down tune your guitars and play as many slam riffs as you want, but if you haven't got any attitude to go with it, then it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It's just soulless to me. So for me, the extremity is the attitude in it. So yeah, you need your fast drums, you need your blast beats, you need your slams and your breakdowns, you need your buzzsaw riffage and your aggressive, like brutal vocals. But if you don't have the attitude, then none of that matters. Like literally none of that matters. It's soulless. So yeah, for me, you need that. The attitude is the most important ingredient, and that's why I think that's why our music resonates the way that it does because we have fucking attitude. We have fuck you attitude all the time. Like this band started with a chip on its shoulder and a point to prove, and this band will die with a chip on its shoulder and a point to prove because that's who we are as people. Like our attitude is fuck you. We'll do exactly what we fucking want, and you can fucking like it or you can fuck off, and that's our attitude. And to me, that is the most important ingredient in extreme metal is the fucking balls, is the attitude. So that's my opinion anyway.
Okay. Okay, interesting details about this. So now talking about, as I mentioned in one of the last questions, we are very close to end this interview, Jay. Um, I remember when the metal appears in 60s, 70s. I remember many interviews said with Bruce Dickinson say that we create the lyrics for Number the Beast to piece off someone. That's the only thing. The metal create a lot of stuff to piece off one something. That's why the new genres, the new substyles in the metal try to piece up someone, to say, hey, we want to piece the religion, the society, the economic, a lot of stuff. Well, that things happen until 90s. Since the 2000s, the metal was more accepted. As you can see, there are trends in YouTube and Instagram, a lot of social media. There are trends. So how do you paint? How do you do a corpse paint? And as a black metal band, like
Yeah,
in like tutorials, how can you sing in a guttural band? This kind of stuff. A lot of things. A lot of growth in a deathcore, in a death metal, etc., etc. So now the metal, for a lot of people, thinks that the metal lose the essence to fight against something, and that's
mm.
normally because the metals were well more accepted now. So, do you think now the metal lose this kind of essence to fight against something?
uh, yeah. But I think it comes back to that thing that we were talking about before about attitude. Like the problem now, in my opinion, is that everybody's scared to offend someone. Everybody's so worried about offending someone. Oh, well, we can't say this, we can't do that. Someone might get offended. That's not what metal was about. Metal is anti-culture. That's what it was. It was edgy. That's what attracted me to it because it was the antithesis of everything else that was going on in the world. And So now it's like if you're in a metal band and you're scared to do something or say something because it's going to offend, it could possibly offend someone, then why that then to me that's not what it's about. Metal was about fuck the world, fuck you all. Like I'll do exactly what I want when I want, and I don't give a shit what you fucking think about it. That to me is metal. That's why I got into it. That's why I'm in a metal band. I don't give a shit about the rules. I don't give a shit about people being offended. So what? Like if you're offended, be offended. That's fine. You don't have to like or listen to what a band's doing. Who gives a fuck? Go listen to something else. It's obviously not for you. Do you know what I mean? Not everything is for everyone. Like that's okay. This shit that I don't like, I don't listen to it if I don't like it. I'm not gonna go crying about it. Oh, it's offended me. I don't give a shit. Grow up. Do you know what I mean? But that's what I think the problem is. It's lost its balls, man. Everything's lost its balls because everyone's so worried about fucking offending people and upsetting people. Fucking upset people. Upset everyone. This is fucking metal, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just do it. Just do what you want. That's the whole point of it. If not, go and be in a fucking pop band. Go and be in One Direction if that's what you're worried about. That's it though, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean?
Okay. That's interesting to know. So, well, Jay, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one like me. Or your answers, as usually, are very interesting to know a lot of details about this new album, the band, your way of thinking about the success, and obviously more things related, well, now about to fight against something into the metal. So for this, congratulations of this new album. It's a great one as usually. You have the sound since the beginning. I remember that I hear the band since the beginning. Now you are in the same vein, brutal metal. So for this aspect, perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans and obviously Metallica followers?
I just want to say thanks to all of our fans in Latin America. I know we haven't got round to seeing you guys yet, but we are working on it. We're working on it. So hopefully we'll be with you guys round in your neck of the woods sooner rather than later. It is taking a while for us to be able to sort something out, but I promise you we will be there. But thank you for all your support. Keep keep smashing through our albums, keep blasting them loud, annoy all your fucking neighbors and your family members with it. Keep playing our music videos, share it around because that shit helps us. Thank you to anyone who's picked up an album, pre-ordered the new album, or just bought a t-shirt like that. That really does keep our engine going. That keeps the lights on. Like so, thank you so much. Um, yeah, I've just like I said, it's going to be a busy year, so just keep your eyes and ears open. Keep checking on all our socials and our YouTube channel because we've got plenty more up our sleeve for this year. So thank you so much.